All right, so we need to talk today. So I weighed in today and I was up quite a bit. I think I'm just having a swelling moment, which it's very typical, but to me, it really upset me today because I just don't know how much of it is seasonal, how much of it is, just like a part of a monthly cycle. I usually have like a part of the month where I'm swollen. I don't know what's going on, and it really pissed me off. And again, I don't have certainty with it, which is really making me mad. And I know a lot of you guys can probably understand the feeling of it when you are doing everything and you plateau or you go up, or it's not even necessarily a plateau, it's just you go up, you're up on the scale, and it just, I think a lot of people don't understand like where the frustration comes from, what is actually going on, all this stuff. It comes from the fact that I want to be done. And so like if I don't make any progress in a week, it really makes me mad, because it's kind of like, are you not gonna make it, or are you not gonna hit the goal that you wanted, that kind of thing. And it's like, I don't know. And then everyone will just be like, oh, you can just wait, and it doesn't matter. And it's like, well, I will if I have to. Like, I'm not going to do anything crazy to get the weight off, but I don't want to. I just want to lose 10 pounds next year. I don't want to do 20. I just don't. It's like I've convinced myself I'm okay with this 10-pound thing. I don't want to have to double that. It's like I'm gonna have to go 1 pound per week. That is just horrible. So I'm just upset. Honestly, I'm just upset because I don't know. This isn't like other times of the year where it's like, oh, I know it'll come off later. It's like, I don't know if it will. It might start to stagnate, and it pisses me off, and I'm frustrated. I'm very, very frustrated with everything in regard to the process. And I think there's just so many things. Like, again, this is still my mystical era, so it's like I keep thinking about everything so big picture, and I just get so irritated with the things that people say about this era or about this time frame, where it's like, well, just take a break. It's like, if I don't do it now, I have to do it later. So that's not really comforting at all. It just isn't. Or they'll be like, well, I didn't think about anything when I was doing it. Well, okay, I'm sorry you don't have anything on your mind. I do. I have a lot of shit on my mind. I don't know, like most of us that got hugely fat, especially due to the toxic ritualistic, we have trauma, we have issues, we have actual problems. I'm sorry that you can't relate to that. That's fine. I'm happy for you that you can't. But I'm not going to change my messaging or change what I say because you never went through anything. Some of us actually did. So it's like, I don't want to hear that, and I think that's what I've gotten a lot more introverted since this era started. And I've been struggling a bit with my activism, because it's like there's never really been a time where I've loved hearing people tell me that I'm wrong or whatever, or people tell me things. I haven't really loved it. You guys know I don't love criticism. I don't really love criticisms or advice. I just don't. Especially not from, people that don't know me, or you know what I mean? Not from like random internet people. Not that I hate it all the time or whatever, or that you shouldn't say it or whatever. I'm not like in an echo chamber, but it's just, there's a very rare moment in time where somebody will write something critical or be like, and I'm gonna just love it. That's very rare. So it's like, I haven't really wanted to hear anything lately, you know, at all. And the other thing too is like, gosh, like that one comment that I did a post about where it's like, people always assume that your reasons are the same as theirs, which is so fucking annoying. It's like, I really don't give a fuck about Vanity. I don't. I'm literally trying to force myself to care. Like on a day-by-day basis, I have to force myself to give a fuck about how I look, because I really don't at all. And I think it's actually the complete opposite, which honestly, with most people that have hinge, that are really huge, let's be real about it. They're not vain. It's not really a disease of the vain. It's not. It's not a mental health issue of the overly vain person. It's typically, I don't give a fuck about it, or I low-key want to look like shit. That's basically how people approach it within hinge. So it's like, I have to force myself to care. And why? Because, you know, for me, the way that I view it is, it has to do with like balancing things out. It has to do with also considering other people more. Like, I don't think there's anything wrong with looking better for other people for one reason or another. I've told you guys, I have career reasons. I have some personal life reasons. You guys know I'm super into somebody. I want to look good for him. I do. I am also on a spiritual journey where it's like, it's not just about looks. It's also like, I need to consider money more, or I need to consider things that are more like on the ground, because I'm just so imbalanced. And I think a lot of us that have these issues, we are up in our head all the time, and we lack balance. We just do, you know? And that's why I talk about it, because somebody has to. People don't talk about this shit. I never hear this stuff. I've never heard this stuff from anybody else, really. The closest you get, which is no shade on anybody, but your average fitness influencer is talking about like ego stuff, which there's nothing wrong with, but it's all about like, you got to get your goals up, and you got to do this and shape up and da-da-da, and get other people to like you and things like that. And to me, it's just not motivating to me. And that doesn't mean I'm a better person. It doesn't mean that I'm a smarter person. It doesn't mean any of that. It really doesn't. It just means that I'm different. And I've spoken to that this whole journey. So it's like, when I have to sit there and I'm in this deficit, and everything is going through my head all the time, and I'm thinking of things all the time, all this shit from the deep past, all this shit from my childhood is coming up, like attachment style, like has been a huge theme in this era. It's so fucking horrible to shift it. It's a lot of work. And so dealing with my, you know, I have anxious avoidance, which is extremely difficult to deal with. And it is trauma induced. It has to do with the time I spent with my dad when I was 9 and 10 years old. It was very traumatic, and there was a lot of drugs involved, and there's just a lot of stuff going on that I don't really want to get into details about, because I just don't want to. Some things can be somewhat private. But the point is, there's real trauma there. It's not, you know, my cousin was called pretty and I wasn't. It isn't that level. It's like real shit. And it caused issues between me and men because of that. And so there is this stuff that I'm working through. And part of that is like, you don't always want to be attractive because you don't want to deal with it. You know? So I have to sit here and think about all this shit. And it's like, I don't want to think about it. I don't even really care about it. But it comes up because I'm living in violation to something like that on a day-by-day basis, day by day. And that is really heavy. And then it's like, I I don't have a lot of clothes. You know, my money hasn't been the best, which to me, I don't even really want to talk about that because, honey, like, that's just such a long-standing thing, and it's not even as bad as it used to be, so I don't even really want to complain about it, to be honest, because it's just stupid, and it's like, it's me not being appreciative of how far I've come. So I try not to like dwell on that stuff as much because it is frustrating, but it's not like, oh my gosh, I can't make my ends meet. It's more like, oh my gosh, I can't buy a bunch of new jackets. So it's like, I have to wear this jacket, which it's an Australia jacket. It's really touristy and it's really corny. And I bought it 10 years ago. So then it's like, I put it on and I think, oh my gosh, I bought this 10 years ago. I could only wear it today. After 10 years, I could wear it. I went to Australia in July of 2015 and I bought this there. And I couldn't wear it. And I just put it on now. And then it makes me think about my ex, because my ex was Australian. And this jacket has nothing to do with him. I bought it before I even knew him at all. But then I think about that, and then I'm just like, oh my gosh. And then it makes me think, well, all of these long-term goals I had, like, look at all this stuff that I wanted, and look at what I strove for, and what did I get, and what happened, and where did life shake up? And it's like, you think about all these things. And then I think, gosh, like, I had so many plans with my ex, and it just all ended up in nothing. And it's like, it makes it hard to trust yourself. It makes it hard for you to believe that you can achieve anything, because now it's like what used to be my dream would be my worst nightmare now. My absolute worst nightmare. And I'm wearing this because I have to, because I don't have any other jackets. And it's like, well, I'd rather just wear this to the gym today because I'm so fucking cold. I have to wear a jacket to the gym now. I have to wear a jacket, period. I have to dress like it's fucking winter already. And so I'm like, I have to wear it tonight, and I'll just wear it tonight. Then I won't wear it the rest of the week because I don't want to wear it. But it's what I have. And it's like, it's just it's like a sentimental thing that doesn't really matter. But it's like, because I'm in this mental state of this deficit and thinking so deeply, it's like, then I'm thinking, oh my gosh, my dad was so chaotic. He was so this, he was so that. He was a huge liar. He was this, he was that. Oh my gosh, well, that's how my ex was. I didn't want to follow my mom's footsteps, and I did. And I don't want to be faced with that shit on a daily fucking basis. I don't want to think about this. And I just hate how in society, it's like when difficult things come up or when stuff comes up, the answer is to just stop. Just take a break. Just don't do it. Don't do it anymore. And it's like, I'm not listening. I'm going to keep going. It's like, enough. There's enough avoidance. There's enough. When is it enough? When is the time? If this isn't the time, then when is the time to deal with this? I'm done running. I'm fucking done. The running is what kept me in it for so long. And I'm not running again. I'm done. It doesn't mean it's fun. It doesn't mean it's pleasant. It doesn't mean that I like it. I don't. It doesn't mean it's not miserable. It is. It doesn't mean there wasn't a reason I fucking ran from this shit. I don't want to think about this stuff. I don't want to think about being a busted millennial in my 30s. I don't want to think about that shit. I just don't. Who the fuck does? Who does? And it's like, well, that's fucking reality. That's reality. You know, the unpredictability of coming home and not knowing how my dad was going to be. That's what I wanted in my ex. I never could tell with him what was going on. I wanted this unending mystery of bullshit where things could shift on a dime with him, like, all the time. And it's just like, wow. And you just see it so fucking clearly. Because you see things so deeply. And like I said, okay, it wasn't anything mystical for you. Okay. It wasn't anything deep for you. Okay. Well, that's you. Because what I'm going through, this is what a lot of people go through. This is why people don't want to do it. This is why people make up bullshit excuses and say, I can't because blah, blah, and blah, and it's a bunch of crap. And we all know it's crap. They know it's crap. I know it's crap. You know it's crap. Everybody knows it is bullshit. But it's because you don't want to go into this mental state. You don't want to think about this shit. So you'll do anything to avoid it. And it's like, that's avoidance. That's what it is. And I was talking to one of my best friends, and she's like, well, because you're anxious avoidant, you're aware of it. You're aware. And you challenge the avoidance. So I do my best with this guy I'm really into. I really do. Because I'm aware of the problems. And so I don't know if I had to be a busted bitch so that people can understand this, then maybe, I don't know. But this type of thing, it doesn't come up from naturally. It's abuse induced. You know, when you have traits of both. According to my ex, I was the most clingy fucking person in the world. But I think Australians are just crazy. I'm sorry. I know that's mean. I know that's really harsh, but I just don't care. And I hope you can understand. I'm just having a moment right now. It's not a very nuanced take, but I think Australians are just extremely avoidant. That's my experience with them. And to call me clingy and to call me all these things when I was so hyper independent with him. And I was like, I'll be the most independent fucking person in the world. I'll never ask for anything. I'll never want for anything. And it was never enough. And when he broke up with me, he still told me that I wanted too much. And it's like he was really trying to push me into that avoidance more than anything. And I don't know if I'll ever forgive him for that. Because it's one of the most harmful things to push somebody who's avoidant to stay that way. It's one of the coldest, cold as ice. One of the most despicable, evil things you can do to a person. And I think he was a fucking feeder. I'll just say it. And I will never have any understanding or, oh, let's not kink shame. No, I'm fucking shaming you for that shit. It's deadly. It's disgusting. And it's wrong. And I should have never had that incentive to not lose. And that was fucking evil too. And it's like it's evil on a physical level and it's evil on a spiritual level, what he did. But it's like I chose it because it's what I knew. It's disgusting. It's so fucking hard. It's horrible. And then I have to like reconcile that with myself, that that's what I chose. That's what I stuck with. But I guess I will forgive him because it's not gonna matter. I'm getting over it anyway. So it doesn't fucking matter. Because I'm not gonna be avoidant. I'm just not. I'm not doing it.